Okay. Thank you, guys. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. We should be good now. Another episode of Halftime Adjustment. Eddie Arnett, G Witt.
Tighten up, baby. Tighten up.
Recap of Week 15
Tighten
versus
up.
the Houston Texans in the big division game. The Titans go down 24-21. And man, it was.
Okay, wait. Before we even start, I'm just gonna say this.
Don't say it.
I'm just gonna say this. What just happened was typical of what went on today. I can't let it go, man. I can't let it go.
Okay, so let me start this. I'm gonna start the show off this way. So we go to the game today, right? And I get through the metal detector without no issues, me and my father. But this man and the other couple people that was with us,
Man,
he couldn't even get to the gate.
man, the gate, it just started off that way. I'm just being honest with you.
It was a bad omen at the beginning.
It started off that way. We could, for the first time ever going to the games, we couldn't get through the sensor. Didn't have anything in my pocket. Turns out it was my belt. For the first time, I had to take off my belt to go through the sensor. So I'm already upset. So we're struggling. We're trying to get to our seats before the kickoff. Really, we'd like to be there before the national anthem. We didn't get to make that. So we're in the aisleways. Heading towards our seat when the national anthem's going on.
And then we had some broadcasting issues. It wasn't broadcasting from the side. Didn't even know it. Thank you for my wife and my son, but we apologize for we was on, but we weren't on.
Now we're on. Okay.
And so we having problems, and so if you saw that other broadcast, don't worry about it. We deleted that video, so now we live. We good.
It's typical of what went on today, man. It's just one of the things. It's just one of the things, man.
So a big must-win today in Nissan Stadium, man. Just came up short, man. I would put it like that. Just came up short. Didn't make enough plays.
And again, like I said earlier, two evenly matched teams.
Yep.
We saw that. So if there was a positive in that, it wasn't like the Texans just came out and just blew us out the water.
No, they didn't.
And to be honest with you, if it wasn't for our mistakes, we actually could win the game.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we talked about it earlier. We left points on the field. First drive, we get the ball. Well, first drive, they come down the field. We get an interception. We take the ball right down the field. Had an opportunity to score. End up getting stalled out. Put Ryan Suckup in for the field goal. And my man, I'm just going to have to say it right now. There's nothing you can do about it now. But the Titans will have to just definitely start. Not only they're going to be looking for a quarterback to draft or whatever, but they're also going to be looking for a field goal kicker right now. Because right now, Suckup, he may be done.
I've never seen a team have so many issues with kickers.
Man, we're the worst kicking team in the league right now. And today it came back to bite us.
Even Santosos couldn't even kick the ball in his own down.
Couldn't he? I mean, he was kicking the ball short the whole game. So, it's a lot of things going on that, to his credit, Brett Kern, and just so you know, the Pro Bowl punter was having a struggle.
Oh, he was kicking. Short kicks.
I read one of his post-game interviews, and he talked about it. He said, man, there's something in the air. The ball is just dead. He couldn't get anything on it. So you might be right, Will. Scooby-Doo the game got us, man. So
let's just sit back and talk about it, man, because we got a lot to grow from this Week 15 L that got put on the board. So all right.
Back to it.
Let's get into it, because here's some things that I wanted to see grow was consistency. We've seen it for 4 weeks. Could they do it for 5 weeks? Score points as they've been doing. And here's the other thing, Grover, that I failed to mention earlier. So we've been seeing mistakes by the defense or mistake by the offense, but been able to recover. That didn't happen this week. That didn't happen today.
No.
Couldn't overcome the mistakes.
No. Next point.
Could they contain Watson? Could they detain Deshaun Watson in the pocket? And as you saw, even when we had a spy, even two spies, lost contained, took bad angles. Even the cornerbacks were getting sucked inside of containment and getting beat to the outside on the run game. And it's just hard to explain that.
Well, it is. It's rough. But I'm going to say this, and it happens a lot. Like I said, one of the things we talked about, you got to keep Deshaun Watson in the pocket. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, he was in the pocket a lot of times in the game, and because he had time, we had no pass rush whatsoever.
Zero.
He had time. He could make the throws. A lot of times when he broke containment. The problem you have, especially towards the end of the game, especially on those drives when we needed to get a stop, was the fact that the corners end up getting caught up looking at him instead of staying with their man.
Losing the man.
When he gets out of containment, you've got to stay with your man simply because if you don't, you're leaving things open for a big play. And we saw DeAndre Hopkins. He threw the ball to him a couple of times at the beginning of the game. Then it's like he disappeared. But then all of a sudden, when they needed to make a play, and he broke containment. We lost track of DeAndre Hopkins, and he's catching the ball left and right.
Scramble drills, right?
Scramble
drills. It was killing us.
People losing contract.
Talked about that this week. As you heard in the practices and the information coming out of the Titans campus, we got to stop the scramble plays.
Yep.
They break down the plays that break down. He's very good at completing those balls. Even the receivers know that he's going to be
because they know that's what he does.
Right.
I mean, and they're used to that.
That's right. And so the next thing was be scoring points. We talked about it earlier in the year. If they could score 21 more points, you could win. But here in the last few weeks, they've been putting up a lot of points on the board.
Yeah.
And today, we didn't see that.
Yeah. And again, that's because mistakes.
Yeah.
We're making mistakes on the mistakes are just too much to overcome. We were killing ourselves.
Right.
If we score in those two drives in the first quarter, it's a different ball game.
It's a different ball game.
We can say that now. Hindsight being 2020. But the bottom line was we left too many points on the field.
That's right. And then the last thing, and somebody said it, I think it was Stacy, said, Derrick Henry, the hamstring is worse than what we thought. Well, and you saw it today.
Well,
right?
And let's be honest about that. we both knew.
Yeah.
Okay, we saw that in the Oakland game. The one thing you notice about Derrick Henry with that hamstring, he's able to run between the tackles. He's able to do some things, but he's not able, when he breaks containment, he doesn't have that explosiveness.
Yeah.
He can't stride it out like he normally would. He can't go full stride and everything. So he can't make the cuts like he normally would.
Right.
So that's the problem you're running into with the hamstring. And it was the same way last week.
Yeah.
So we knew he didn't practice all week, so you knew it was going to be iffy for him anyway. Still, he averaged 4 yards a carry. He had 86 yards. It was an overall decent game for him. It would have been a lot more if it wasn't for the hamstring.
Yeah, and I think you saw the result of that is the receivers not getting open.
Yeah.
Because the Texans knew that the running game was not going to be effective.
Yeah.
And so they were able to sit back and play the pass.
They were able to sit back and play the pass, play cover two, play man coverage with a safety over the top. They did a lot of different things, but the bottom line was because we couldn't run the ball effectively and they could contain Henry with the front seven, then they didn't have to worry about bringing their safeties up to help bring down Derrick Henry.
Right. You saw a lot of him running up the middle. He wasn't hitting that edge like he would normally do. And you knew then that it was going to be an issue today. So let's look at it, girl. So the Texans get the ball first. Titans wins the toss, and they defer.
Right.
The Texans drive the ball out of field. Good drive. You got to give them credit for what they came out with. The game plan was good by Bill O'Brien. He had some different wrinkles. He had DeAndre Hopkins come out of the backfield.
Yeah, a lot of deception moves. A lot of crossing routes, RPOs and everything. He did a lot.
And so, but the defense makes a play. Vaccaro, what looks like an open receiver. Deshaun Watson throws the sideline pass and is picked off at the 1 yard line. Hopefully, you would think he would keep his feet on that. But hey, man, we make the play and the offense takes over.
But he made the interception. The offense take over, and what do we do?
AJ Brown for 60.
Boom. So that was a good thing.
Yeah.
And a bad thing. Because after that, and this is just my view of it being at the game. After that, it seemed like the only receiver he was looking at for a while was A.J. Brown.
He was, and he was trying to force feed him.
He was trying to
to throw a lot of back shoulder throws, but they were off. They were either inside or way behind him, and and not spreading the ball around like we've been doing the last 4 weeks.
Tannehill, and let me be honest with you. I think Tannehill got caught up trying to do too much. Instead of playing the game like he normally should, he got caught up trying to do too much. Of course, they've been talking about the fans coming out and everything, so they want to put on a good show. They want to get the big plays. They've been having big plays while they've been on the road and everything.
Right.
But the bottom line is, man, all we want to see is a win. All we want to see is a win. So, big play. It don't have to be big plays.
Not every time.
Not every time. Big plays come in the game, but you can't force them. You got to let them happen.
Can't force it. So we get down to the field goal range, and of course, as you mentioned, the Suckup's 45-yard is blocked. And, we got a little bit of our own medicine today, right?
Yeah.
And had a field goal blocked. Points left on the field once again.
Yep.
And, the first quarter goes to, it ends up being 0-0. They go back and forth a little bit. Now, the defense is going to be ready to play in some form or fashion. But, the offense just didn't move the ball. They moved the ball, just couldn't score in the red zone. Coming in the number one efficiency in the red zone in the NFL. And today left 10 points on the board.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. I mean, and now, to the defense credit, they contained them a couple of plays, because you think about it, we went scoreless in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Even though we had a chance to score, you go scoreless and everything, but then in the second quarter, Houston owned the second quarter, man.
Houston owned the second quarter, and it's like we couldn't stop them. You had to give them the credit. They had a good game plan and get the ball out of Deshaun Watson's hand. But so here's the thing. So let's talk about the defense for a minute, because I didn't like the game plan, the approach from Peaks. Now, of course, you want to contain Deshaun Watson, right? But you don't blitz. I think I counted one blitz in the first half, maybe for the whole game, if I'm not mistaken. I had to really go back and look at it. But there wasn't a lot of blitz. There was a lot of four-man rush with a spy and maybe two spies, which you gave the guy all day. And that's what he thrives on, being able to make plays by moving around in that pocket, as we mentioned earlier. And, man, it really cost us.
Well, and again, I go back to what I've been saying about Dean Pease really since last year. I a lot of times I don't understand, the pass rush game he has, because a lot of his power rushes, strength, he just doesn't have it on that defensive line. He doesn't have anybody that can break through. I mean, Harold Landry came up close a couple of times and everything, but really, I think the biggest problem you're running into is the fact that, you kept him contained inside the pocket for the most part. Mm-hmm. Secondary did a fairly decent job of covering.
Right.
But the problem lies is that you didn't give any pressure to him to make him uncomfortable.
Right.
So while you kept him in the pocket, he was able to stand back there and stand tall. He didn't have to, be worried about somebody coming around his backside or anything like that. So that was the problem you had. There was not enough pressure. It's not so much about getting the sack, but there was no pressure on him at all.
Right.
And that's the problem.
That's right. And Jabbar, you're right. It was twice the whole game. And the Texans offensive line, they were in the top 5 and giving up sacks in NFL.
Absolutely.
Wow, you take advantage of that. But like you said, and somebody might have said it earlier, today we got exposed of a lot of the handicaps. We don't have a pass rusher at all.
Right.
You got to manufacture pressure. The secondary is hurt with a lot of youth in it, and the offense was not efficient in the red zone today.
No.
And the kicking game is really
and the kicking game
porous.
The kicking game came back to haunt us.
Yeah.
It finally caught up with us again. We've had problems with the kicking game the whole season. Mm-hmm. Tried different people and everything, and obviously it just hasn't worked out. So, and I think they're just trying to stick with Suckup because he was reliable, and they were hoping really that he would come back and finally get back in stride. But as we saw today, he's doing okay on PATs. Yeah. But you can't count on him for 3 points.
You can't count
on
him for 3 points.
And I think that's one of the things that led to that fake punt. Because the bottom line was, he struggled with that. And going back and thinking about that fake punt, I'll be honest with you. I think, first of all, I don't think it was a bad idea to go on the fake punt. Mm-hmm. I sometimes I question, how you threw the play call as far as where Chris Shank went to. Yeah. Instead of just trying to get the first down. They went deep on it. And it was a good pass, and dude just made a good play on it.
And then, speaking of that, it was a lot of that today. A lot of these deep routes on third and short, running these deep passing routes, taking some 2-man routes, which if you run a 2-man route, everybody's gonna be covered real quick. And so it's just the play column was kind of questionable today.
And again, like I said, the problem we had today was the fact that because we weren't efficient enough in the running game, we weren't effective enough, I should say, in the running game. We were okay. The problem was that, running the 2-man routes, it didn't leave you a lot of room. Because one thing we noticed first off, let's just be real about it. Mm-hmm. Their corners really could not cover our receivers.
No, they couldn't.
Corey Davis and A.J. Brown, they couldn't really cover them one-on-one.
No, they couldn't.
But because we were ineffective, or not as effective with the run game,
That was a problem.
That was a problem because again, it left them. They could double up on them.
Yeah.
So the 2-man routes they couldn't win because they were being doubled. So because we knew that was going to happen. You knew they was going to double A.J. Brown. You knew they were going. They're going to keep coverage on Corey Davis. So it's just one of them things, man. Where, like I said, today was the perfect storm for us. It was just a perfect storm for us.
And you're right, guys. Jonnu Smith is continuing to show very well. We got a tight end of the future, so we're in good hands there. And he showed a lot. He's got some wheels on. First off,
let's be honest about it. We're in good. Regardless of what.
Yeah.
The team is in good shape. It's just like we said before the season started.
Yeah.
This is probably the most talented team we've had in a long time.
And it showed. Those breaks that we get in the past 4 weeks. If you get those breaks
we didn't get those today.
First to let the ball. Now, if he catches the ball with his hands, it might be a different story on the interception. But he tried to catch it with his body,
and it got popped out. And Merciless brings it back 81 yards. Like I said, it's just one of them. It was one of those days. It was just one of those days, man. And you've been there. Come on, you've been there. It's just one of them days, man, where things just don't go right.
And as you mentioned, Merciless brings it back 86 yards to the 12, and then a couple plays, and Kenny Steele goes in for a touchdown, beats Logan Ryan.
Badly.
Man-on-man coverage and beats him over
badly.
the top.
And plus, on top of that, he got called for holding. So.
He got called for holding, which was a great call by the officials.
Yeah. We won't talk about them too much.
Right. Titans get the ball back, 3 and out, and then Texans go back down again, once again. And score Deshaun Watson to Kenny Stills again. That sounds like a broken record. The same type route.
And it's just deeper.
16-yard touchdown catch.
It was just deeper, that's all.
14-0. That's how it ended for the first half. 14-0. The offense. We was talking to the game. It was amazing. If you looked at the stats of the game, it looked like the Titans would really win the game because they really had the most yards.
Yeah.
The most of the yards came on the interception return for Houston, right? And they got the ball back down there in the 12-yard line. And just couldn't put any points on the board. Like I said, number one red zone offense in the NFL coming into this game and couldn't put points on the board.
And that's the thing you're running into. Like I said, today was just a perfect storm.
Yeah.
It sounds like a broken record, but it really was. I mean, it was just like things that were going our way over the past 4 weeks, we couldn't catch a break. And, whether it's been officiating on a false start that was really an offsides. I'm not sure what the official that again, and I think I could be wrong, but I'm thinking it's the same crew we had for the Tampa Bay game, and they were struggling then. But
the thing I didn't understand is they called a false start, but the play was over. They had tackled Derrick Henry and everything.
And the play was over. Then he threw a flag after the play. So it's like. Okay, it's like he threw the flag and said, I got to make up a call or something.
I don't know.
And they showed the replay of it. It's like no one on the offensive line moved.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was just one of those games. Like I said, I think, really, like I said, I thought Tannehill was trying too hard to make plays.
You're exactly right, Mr. Lewis. If there's a false start, there's a dead ball. The play is over. You kill it.
Yeah. But, I thought, like I said, I thought Ryan Tannehill was trying to do too much. I thought defensively that we just couldn't maintain any pressure on them at all. Carlos Hyde was running like Le'Veon Bell. Basically he getting the ball,
and wait for the crease,
and he's hitting the crease. We never could stop the run consistently to where they make them one-dimensional. That hurt.
A bunch.
Because he was and then all of a sudden the only thing he never did was break a long one.
Yeah.
But I think his longest one was like 11 yards. But the bottom line was he ran the ball effectively, and that was we just didn't have anybody filling the holes.
Yeah, and that was strange because Rashad Evans and Jayon Brown usually pretty good at getting.
Yeah.
And maybe you go with Wesley Williams at a time like this when you have problems up the middle.
I thought about that, but you run into issues with him.
In pass coverage, right?
In pass coverage, and again, you're talking about the lack of speed right there. And that's really. Wesley makes up a lot of difference because in the mental game, he can get ahead of it. But the bottom line is it's a fast game, and if you're not there, it's just not make. Taylor just answered the question. Titans were 40% on third down.
40% today.
4 out of 10. Texans were 5 out of 10.
So they've been better as far as consistency as converting third downs here the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Today, it was a little bit of a struggle. 4 of 10, like you said, and it came at some big opportunities to keep drives alive.
Yeah.
Especially when it was behind by the late touchdown, 21-14, and so. But you gotta give them credit coming out the second half and putting together that long drive that took over almost 10 minutes of game time. And Tannehill is a great call, a bootleg out to the left side of the field, scores on 4th and 1.
Yeah, that was
cut the lead to 14.
Yeah, that was a good call because they was. I mean, they made some good calls, and this is to give the Texans defense their credit.
Yeah,
they made some great plays down there at the bottom. In all honesty, I knew we had to go for it on fourth down. I mean, you ain't got no choice.
Yeah.
But I thought the Texans were really playing strong down there, and generally short yardage situation on that defense is not their strong point.
Right. And Stacey, I'm gonna get back to your comment that you said. Hopefully, this loss puts a bad taste in their mouth. I would think so. It's a lot still on the line. It's not over yet.
No.
The percentages and the numbers say is very slim chance of making the playoffs. But you just never know what happens because you still got a lot of them play. Buffalo wins tonight, and Houston slips up against the Bucks, and you could be a game for the division next week.
The bottom line is it's the same thing that we said a few weeks back.
Right.
We have to win every game.
Yeah.
Just go out there and win the game.
That's right.
You can, right now, you can't worry about anybody else in the league. You got to go out there and take care of your own business.
Right.
And know the Titans did not
run draw plays today. They had some screen plays, which were pretty effective. Very good calls. Corey Davis had a good one. John Smith had a good screen. Yeah. And so, like I said, those were effective. No draw plays. The Titans get the ball, drive down, like I said, 10 minutes almost off the game clock, and go cut the lead 14-7. Traded some punts. The Titans again come back at the beginning of the fourth quarter, make a great drive down the field again, and A.J. Brown touchdown. Great catch in the end zone, and the game's tied. And so you're feeling pretty good because the defense has made some stops. They forced some punts. They came up with some good defensive plays, incomplete passes,
and then you come down, you get them down, really inside the 20.
Yeah.
To start the drive and everything, and again, it just goes back to what we were saying today. The defense just could not make a stop when we needed them to make a stop.
And somebody mentioned it early on in the comments, but the secondary was exposed today. The injuries caught up with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got DeAndre Hopkins running free across the middle on the slant, and he gets down inside the 20, and the Texans ended up scoring on a Carlos Hyde run for 10 yards.
Yeah.
And they go up 21-14, and it was just hard for the defense to get off the field today. Couldn't get off third down.
And to the Texans' credit, they didn't stay in. They weren't in third down a lot.
Right.
I mean, a lot of times they ended up with, because Carlos Hyde was running effectively. Mm-hmm. They ended up with 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3. So they were moving the ball pretty effectively and everything. Very rarely were they in like 2nd and 9 or 2nd and 8. So and even then, they were converting those. Mm-hmm. So that's the problem we were running into. It was just tough sledding for the defense today. We knew it was going to be a struggle for the defense.
Right.
We were hoping the offense could at least maintain some continuity. For the most part, they did okay, but the defense just could never get that stop we needed. That would have been a momentum changer. You know what I mean?
That's right.
That's the thing about it. They got some stops during the game, but they did not get anything that would change the momentum. Even the interceptions, even though they were good, and we on the second one we scored out of them, the one that got in the end zone, Jayon Brown.
Yeah.
We drove down the field.
That was a long drive.
That was a long drive. We scored on that one. But the bottom line was when we needed a stop, we tied the game 14-14. We got them down. We could not get a stop.
Could not get a stop.
At all.
Exactly right.
They came out running the ball. They could run the ball effectively. We couldn't stop the run. The bottom line is they ran the ball 36 times. When a team runs that many times, that means you're not controlling the run. And they're multi-dimensional. We never could make them one-dimensional today.
Right. Guys, thank you for joining us for another episode of Halftime Adjustments. AD Arnell, G Witt.
Tighten up, baby.
Tighten up, man. And, and I want to go back. Somebody has said something. Yeah. So Jabbar, that's a great point because Malcolm Butler, he would be playing on Hopkins because he's more physical. And the cornerbacks. And we missed him today.
I said we was going to miss him.
Yeah.
I said that was the one thing about him going out for the rest of the season was the fact that we had nobody who could be physical with DeAndre Hopkins. Now, and don't get me wrong, you're not stopping DeAndre Hopkins. Right. You're just not going to stop him.
Right.
But if you're physical with him, you slow him down, you make him less effective. And the bottom line was we could not make him less effective. And that's what really hurt us.
Right. And, so everybody wants to know what's going on with Corey Davis. We kind of talked about it last week a little bit. I just don't think they're getting him the ball enough. Because you saw today, Tannehill's forcing the ball to him. Even when he caught the ball today, Corey Davis, he made some plays.
He made some plays.
He got down the field. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. That's just my opinion. I just think they need to get him involved more in the passing game. He run blocks great. He's probably one of the best run blocking receivers we got on the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I just think they need to get the ball to him more. And don't think teams are not going to start looking at A.J. Brown more to get more safety up over the top.
Well, you saw that today.
That's right.
You saw that today.
So he's going to have to step up.
In the second half, they started making sure he had help over the top because they recognize, really, you think about it, when you go back and look at that game, and you look at the game film, you'll realize that A.J. Brown was on that cornerback. That cornerback was doing everything he could and got away with a lot. Got away with a lot. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that Corey Davis, one, he's a rookie.
Yeah.
Referees are just not going to look his way to give him any breaks or anything. And two, he was complaining to the refs a lot.
Right.
So that automatically meant they wasn't going to pay attention to him because he was a rookie. Right. So that's just the way the NFL, he came close to getting a couple of penalties from the refs for arguing and everything, but they didn't do anything. But we had to pull him out of the game for a play or two just to let him calm down. But again, I think the bottom line is, we don't have our full complement of receivers there yet. Hopefully Humphries comes back to play against New Orleans. But Tajay Sharp was getting open, Fursker was getting open, Corey Davis was getting open. And again, especially in the first half, I thought Ryan Tannehill was just locked in on A.J. Brown and kept trying to make big plays with A.J. Brown. And I'm like, look, there are other receivers on the field. Scan the field. Somebody else has got to be open because they were sending a couple of passes he threw was double coverage.
Yeah.
So it's just one of them things, man. Like I said, today was the perfect storm. That's the only thing you can look at. It was just the perfect storm.
Yeah, Houston goes up 21-14 and Titans get the ball back. Have to punt it back to Houston, and Houston just pretty much eats the clock up, drives it down, kicks another field goal, and goes up 24-14, and then you know how it ends. We get the ball.
Yeah, we get the ball.
Drive down the
here's
field.
the thing about it, and this is what you gotta like. And this is what you think about, because you think 24-14, the game's done. 3 minutes and 20-some seconds left to go in the game. Give Tannehill and the team their credit.
Right.
Went right down the field. End up scoring a touchdown. Now, this is the part where, opinions are going to differ.
Right.
The onside kick.
That was a terrible onside kick.
Here's my problem with it. Because truth be known, I was up in the stands. I'm like, kick it deep.
Yeah.
But I understand the ramifications of that, too. You kick it deep, they get to run it. They really get a better shot at running out the clock.
Yeah.
Okay, so the bottom line is, I understand doing the onside kick. You run the onside kick, and when you kick the ball, Bill O'Brien had called timeout.
Yeah.
You come back, and you run the same style onside kick.
Kick the same way.
Kick the same way.
Same area.
Same area. The linebacker just ran forward and just fell on the ball. I'm like, man, do something different. Line up different if nothing else.
Yeah.
So and to me that's part of the problem we have. As historically, let's put it like this, historically, we have never been good with onside kicks. Historically. I think in the history of the Titans we may have recovered 2 or 3 at the most. But historically we haven't been good with onside kicks. So I thought that in itself was a bad play. Now granted we held them, and they do the smart thing. They punt the ball to us.
Oh yeah, definitely. Why wouldn't you?
Some teams might have done something crazy like kick a field goal. Like I was saying, go ahead, try to kick a field goal.
Right.
Anyway, so they punt the ball to us, and you see LaShawn Sims make the play. Now, the thing about it, and I thought about this, I was thinking about it on the way. Because because you see people complain about, because we said it, why did he catch the ball?
Why did he catch the ball?
And I understand that. My question for him, question that I thought about, I'm like, okay, let's look at it like this standpoint. Let's remember the play. They were up 0, nobody back, everybody up top, and then Vrabel tells Sims, you go back. Pull off the line, go back. Sims does that. He runs. And he ends up running all the way down, getting close to the end zone. And I'm wondering, in all honesty, if he really understood what would happen if the ball went into the end zone. Would the clock automatically stop, or would they be allowed to just run timeout?
I don't know what he was thinking, man, at that point.
But
you never know, right?
But he did what he thought was right. Conserve time, grab the ball, don't let it die. Because if the ball goes down there and dies, the game is effectively over. Let's just be real about it. He catches the ball, we lose 8 seconds, but you still had an opportunity. The one thing in that last play, the one thing you really didn't want to have happen, happened. Right. You definitely didn't want to take a sack.
Didn't want to take a sack,
and we took a sack.
Took a sack. So that wraps up the game. The 24-21, man, it was a tough loss. All is not just yet. There's still just a glimmer of hope. But hey, you got to win out, like we talked about.
Like we said, you got to win out without a doubt. You got to win out for sure. And you got to hope for some help. So, hey, it is what it is. But here's the thing, and I'm just going to say this. And this is for the Titans team. I'm just going to say this.
Okay.
Stop worrying about who's coming to the game. Seriously. I'm serious, man. Stop worrying about it. Because the bottom line is, those of us who are true Titan fans, we're going to be there. In this town, you may have, 15, maybe 25,000 true Titan fans who will come to the game all the time? We're going to be there. We're going to support you. We were there when the team went 2-14, 3-13, 7-9. We were there. Okay?
Stop the cold blue. That's right.
So the bottom line is, stop worrying about the fans who are coming to the game. Just play the game. If you win, more fans will automatically come.
More fans will automatically come.
And then it doesn't even matter to you.
Right.
So don't even worry about it, because look at it from this standpoint. When we played against Kansas City, the stadium was full of Kansas City Chiefs fans.
Yep. The
team balled out. Made great play after great play, won the game on a great play. Mike Vrabel said the right thing. To the fans who were there supporting us at the end, we thank you. That's all you need to say. That's all you need to say. Don't worry about fans coming out to the game to come out to support you and anything. That does not matter. The fans the true blue fans, the true Titan fans, they're going to be there. And we're going to be live when we can. Just play. That's all you got to worry about. Just play.
So as we move on past this game, got the Saints coming in, man, and got the Hall of Famer Drew Brees coming in at a little bit over 2,000 yards passing. You got Michael Thomas, the number 1 NFL receiver in the league. Kamara with 600 yards rushing. And so you got the 12th ranked offense coming in, and they've already clinched their division. And so you have to wonder, they play the Colts tonight, and I don't know what the score is today. Oh, well, they play the Colts tomorrow night. And so we'll see what the result of that game is. And so you just never know, man. I mean, it's still a lot of football left.
But here's the thing, like you said,
it's
the NFL. Yeah, anything can happen. So the bottom line is, what we need to do is take care of our business. Right. Beat New Orleans, and then go to Houston and beat the Texans. Right. That's what we need to do, and let the chips fall where they may. What would be good is if Tampa Bay beats Houston. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that would be good.
Well, so here's the scenario. I think somebody was asking us the playoff scenario. So you got to hope the Texans slip up next week, like you mentioned. Yeah. So Buffalo needs to beat Pittsburgh tonight. That'll help us out as far as keeping them getting the wild card.
As far as being able to be in the wild card situation.
So we've got to win against the Saints, and a slip up by the Texans next week will set up a one for all game in Houston in 2 weeks. And so the bottom line is, we need Buffalo to win. Right. And we need to win out. Right. I mean, that's it. That's the scenario.
That's the scenario.
And if the Titans drop another game, it's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's no tiebreaker.
There's no tiebreaker because we're right now we're 2-3 in the division. We're 6-5 in the conference.
Right.
So no, we can't afford another loss. Right now, we hope that, in all honesty, you hope that really if New Orleans beat the Colts tomorrow night, the Colts are done.
The Colts are
they
done.
They can't catch up to us regardless. The bottom line is we need to win the next 2 games. It's going to be hard, but then again, it's the NFL. Every weekend is hard. Yeah. Every Sunday is hard.
And the Saints play a little defense too.
They play really good defense.
But one advantage we'll have the game is outside.
Game's outside. But the problem we got right now, in all honesty, is injuries because they have caught up with us, especially injuries to Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
that is what really was hurting us. I mean, give him his credit. He's fighting through it. I mean, 87 yards on a bum hamstring. Hey, man, that's some good running. Well, that's some tough sledding right there.
We had talked about even if he could just get us 5 yards a pop, that would be effective in the game.
And he did a little bit over 4. So
knowing he had a bad wheel.
Yeah.
Right?
So, that was another thing, too. Tonight, you didn't see a lot of bootlegs.
It wasn't a lot. You're exactly right. That's kind of
odd. That's kind of odd because that's been working the past few weeks.
Yeah. He scored off the bootleg, right?
Yeah, that was really about the only one he ran. But no, he ran another one where he tried to fit the ball in between the linebacker and the safety, missed Corey Davis all the way around.
That's right.
And he had Derrick Henry. I'm sure he did hit Derrick Henry. He probably could have got the first down at least. Right. That's what I was talking about. Ryan Tannehill. He didn't have a good game. When he goes back and look at the film, he's gonna say, I missed some throws.
Right.
I got greedy. That's what he's gonna say.
Deion wants to know is Jenkins, man. Is he worth the call? I don't know, man. I don't know. So
I don't know. I mean, right now they're struggling.
Yeah.
They got Tremaine Brock, and one thing you found out about him is that one of the reasons why Arizona wasn't, too sad to let him go. Yeah. He's slow. He's slow, man. And that's just the problem. He's slow.
I mean, he's worth a look. He's worth a look. There's still a lot on the line, like we just talked about. He's worth a look. And maybe 25 comes back this week. We'll see. Sean Sims did come back, so that was a positive.
Yeah, but he did not have a good game.
He didn't have a good game. It might have been a little rushed.
Yeah,
might have been out of shape a little bit. And so, hey, man, we got to play ball. The season's not over yet. Got 2 more games left. And,
absolutely.
And anything can happen.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. We'll see.
Hey, man, look, it's a week-to-week league.
Yeah.
Every week is a challenge, especially in the NFL. You just got to be ready to go.
I know Deion, man. I know. I'm just thinking about, hey, like I said, it didn't hurt to bring him in and work him out and see what he could do.
Terrell Suggs is out there too, man.
Terrell Suggs is out there. You want some pass rush? Why not bring him in too? He's familiar with Dean Pease's system.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
And so bring Janoris in, give him a look. He might be worth the time and the effort to bring him in. I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm saying I don't know if he'll work out for this team. We'll see.
You just never know. Right now they're struggling.
Yeah.
We got some things they got to work on, and we got to win these last 2 games. That's the only thing. Right now, we got to beat New Orleans, and that's the thing about it.
We got to worry about nobody else, but
we got to beat New Orleans, and Drew Brees is going to come with it.
He's going to come with it, but I think we can get after him. I think we could play a solid game plan, and maybe Derrick Henry gets a little bit healthier this week. And somebody mentioned earlier, and I failed to respond to it, but why not run more running back by committee? Derrick Henry is hurt. Why not get Blasingame in the run game some and run Deion Lewis just a little bit more? He was effective on his carries that he had today. You got a guy back there that is hampered by a bad hamstring, and your running game is not effective, and the defense is now going to start playing on your pass routes, which we saw.
Well, the bottom line is this: without Derrick Henry, really, we understand we have no running game.
Yeah.
And everybody else understands that too. And everybody understands that he's slowed down by the hamstring, so there's no fear for him right now.
Right.
He's running effectively. They got to watch him because he can break a big, long run. He just can't take it to the house right now.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And that's what I'm saying. So you're right, Deion. It might need to be a running back by committee just so he can get a little bit healthy. But only 2 weeks left. He's not gonna get a lot of rest, and we'll be
just keep getting treatment.
And he'll get treatment, get stretched out, and we'll see what happens. Okay, guys, again, thank you for joining us for another episode of Halftime Adjustments.
Sorry about the technical difficulties.
Eddie on there, G-Wit.
Tighten up, baby.
Week 15 is in the books. The Titans fall to the Texans 24-21, fall to 8-6. Overall, 2-3 in the division with a lot on the line. Still left to go. That's right, Taylor. Find a way to win. Step up. Next man up.
Play to win the game.
Find a way to win. And we can't get Mario to be Drew. Tannehill should too. I agree with
Different defense back then, baby.
I agree.
And you're right, Melissa. We cannot have a team based on one player.
Pass the
ball around. I agree with you totally.
That is.
But bottom line is, Derrick Henry is the key for the offense.
He is. And when you get one-dimensional, as we were today, for the most part, it's hard to move.
It's hard to move the ball.
And it's hard to score points in the red zone.
Yeah.
Thank you for the love. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the support.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate y'all joining us. We'll be back next Sunday night, 7 p.m.
That's right.
After the Titans and the Saints, the last home game of the year. So you need to get out there and support the team, man.
Hey.
If you can go to the game.
True Titan fans. Let's go.
You're right, man. It is depressing. It could be a third year in a row. Hopefully, though, we'll see 10 wins. Hadn't had that in a while.
Hey, man, look. Let's win the next game.
We do have a 2 number one receiver. Somebody said it earlier. He's about to go. He's a little bit over 100 yards short of going for 1,000. Could be up for rookie of the year.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hey guys, we'll see, man. A lot of football left.
Got 2
games left.
Yeah.
Technically not over yet.
That's right.
So keep
still in
keep
it.
watching. Go to the game.
We're still
be
in the
loud. The crowd was great today. It was good to see a lot of Titans fans out.
Yep. Absolutely.
And to support the
There'll
team.
be quite a few Saints fans next Sunday.
Yeah, appreciate the love, the support. You guys watching the show. If you like the show, share it. Get it out there, let other folks see it. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. We got some people signing up on YouTube,
All right,
so that's
all
great.
right.
It's building. It's got a little bit of momentum. Halftime adjustment, H/T adjustments on YouTube. Go out there, watch it, share it, pass it on. You like the show, like I said, you like it, pass it along.
That's
man.
right.
Get us out there to other folks. We just want to spread the knowledge out to everybody we can.
Let's go
That's
get
all
another
it's
win.
about.
Let's get a win next week.
Get another win. 8 out there. G with 8-6 Titans. Saints come in noon on Sunday. We'll see y'all next Sunday night, 7 p.m. G with Titans.
Tighten up.